And now is a special time of the evening where we talk about wrestling.
Yeah, we saved this for last so you wouldn't bitch at us. So
That's
that
right.
means we care about you.
That's right. I'm so excited about this show. But somebody tagged me in something right before we talk about the show. Somebody mentioned that there's a rumor that Undertaker is going to be showing up at Battleground. Now, what does this mean, Uncle Bill? What do you think this means if he shows up?
Well, it could only mean one thing, couldn't it?
Yeah, maybe
in my opinion,
he costs Lesnar the match at Battleground.
Yeah, which sets up
the rematch at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it would be. I think that would be something different, simply because Brock Lesnar is babyface and Undertaker. I don't think anybody could be a more over babyface against the Undertaker. I mean, you're just not going to. So it'd be interesting crowd reaction.
Here's what I'm thinking too, man. I don't know if you saw this in the middle of all this stuff, but WWE's got to do something, because I know they fired the creative guy who was also in charge of the network. Did you see that?
Oh, they fired all kinds of people.
Yeah, they fired, essentially the guy that was the head of the network. Well, he wasn't the head of the network. That's Vince, but he was the guy that's kind of responsible for the programming and stuff on the network, and the creative guy too. Mm-hmm. They've got to do something. It's really fucking almost impossible to watch that shit now.
Well, I think part of it is you've got so many guys, and we'll talk about this throughout this pay-per-view too, because they're just littered throughout this show, that they have had for so long. And they're, like, I guess Vince has a hard-on for them. They're on the fucking show every week. They're on there for 15, 20, 25-plus minutes sometimes. And when they're on there, it's just, like, I want to go to sleep. I mean, I hate these fucking guys. And, I mean, I can go through them right now. I mean, they're on the show. Fucking Wade Barrett is one of them.
Which they've really ruined him, yeah.
And it's not, none of these guys are really their fault. They just don't do a fucking thing with them, ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, go out there, have a match. And there's no reason why you're having this match. You're just going out there. Randy Orton's another one. He's been like that for fucking probably 7 or 8 years or longer.
Yeah.
Sheamus. And he just come back not too long ago. I'm sick to death of Sheamus.
With his new look.
Him having the Money in the Bank thing is just stupid. It's a waste. It's horrible. Right?
I agree.
Big Show, Mark Henry.
Those are two guys, though, man, that they've been fucked for about 5 years now. I mean, just in terms of anybody giving a shit.
Yeah, longer than that, really.
Yeah.
So they just have so many guys like that, though, that the second they're on there, I just don't have any interest in. I don't care what they're doing. They're just uninteresting to me.
Yeah, they are. They're uncharismatic, boring. They have no storylines. They've done everything they can do with them. They've repackaged them so many different times and not really done a good job with it that it doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah. So, I don't really care about those people. I think they're doing some good things, though. I just wish they would do a little bit more with some of these people. Like, I love what they're doing with Cesaro. I don't know if you've kept up with that. It seems like they're actually giving him. They're giving him some opportunities to have some great matches with some of the top guys like Cena, and he had a match with Rusev and Kevin Owens last Monday. And he's fucking hitting it out of the park every time, man. So I don't know how they couldn't give this guy at least a decent upper mid-card spot. He deserves a main event spot, in my opinion, but I mean, you got to do something with him. He's amazing to watch. I mean, and everybody knows it. He's one of those guys that if you watch, and Kevin Owens is another one, anybody can watch that motherfucker in the ring, and, you know he's special. I don't give a shit who it is. Like, my girlfriend watches him in the ring, and she's like, he's fucking good. You know, and she don't even know shit about, she makes fun of it half the time. You know, she talks about fucking Dolph Ziggler needs to get his fucking roots done and shit like that. She don't pay attention to the wrestling aspect of it most of the time. But, you know, people realize that Cesaro, guys like Cesaro and Kevin Owens and then Neville, you know, guys like that are really special in the ring. Yeah. We're talking about the wrestler Adrian Neville, not Aaron Neville, the singer with a weird sword tattoo on his cheek. So, my love.
What was that one song he sang that was a big hit?
Darling. Hell, I don't know.
Oh, God.
What was that song?
I've got to fucking think of that. That's going to kill me now.
Yeah. What was the weird deal about Aaron Neville and that damn little sword tattoo on his cheek?
I don't know. What was the deal with the big fucking mole thing on him?
Yeah. Maybe he got the sword tattoo on his cheek so people wouldn't look at his mole all the time.
That's true. He may have.
What was that? Well, he had one big song that come out like the early 90s.
I know. I can't fucking think of it. It's driving me crazy.
I used to sing that all the time because I used to think I could sing like him.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
We'll think about it and we'll go back to it here.
Something about love, because that's the only thing he ever sang about.
Yeah. I thought it was that one song from Ghost, though, that...
Unchained Melody, he sang that too, but that's not the one I'm thinking of.
Wise men say... Bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue on here. I'm excited as hell about this pay-per-view.
Battlefield Earth, let's do it.
Let's talk about Battlefield, WWE Battlefield. R-Truth versus King Barrett in the pre-show. Oh, are you excited about that? What's your predictions on that?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. It's the winner. The winner of the match, though, gets Barrett's King of the Ring crown, if anybody cares.
And so they're going to do the angle where R-Truth gets the crown and, like, fucking comes out acting goofy with it, and it infuriates Barrett. So he fucking beats shit out of him with the scepter or something and gets it back. Is that what's going to happen?
That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
R-Truth, though, was doing some sort of gimmick where he is the What's Up champion or something like that. He's got like a toilet plunger and a fucking robe, like garbage bag robe or something. I don't know what the hell he's got, but yeah. Fucking, I feel sorry for those guys. Let's see, another match. They got the Primetime Players versus the New Day. You know what? You know, I enjoy both of these teams for what they are.
Sadly enough, I do too.
I love the Primetime Players T-shirt, although hardly anybody knows that's like the old Primetime Wrestling logo. I don't think they've ever really said that's what it was, but I mean, it's kind of. If you watch it's the show that came on before Raw existed, Primetime Wrestling. It's the same logo, so I like that shirt. And the New Day's, I like the fucking New Day. I get a kick out of those guys. So this will probably be a decent match. I don't see a title changing hands though. Do you?
No. Although I honestly really like the Primetime Players. Like, I don't know what it is about them or anything. They're actually not bad, and they've actually got a pretty good charisma, pretty good gimmick. Now, I mean, New Day is just fucking. New Day's one of those things where I think they were seriously trying to do that, and everybody just kind of laughed out of the building, so they tried to play it off as if it was.
But it's something about those guys, especially Big E, as just a fucking goofy, like, dude that runs around and claps and shit, and he has the funniest looks on his face. Like, I just get a kick out of it. I don't know why, but I think that he is the one guy that's really shining through in the New Day, in my opinion, in that heel role. But, you know, it is what it is. And I think that, you know, they'll have a pretty decent match. They don't really have a lot of healthy teams in the tag division right now, unfortunately. So
No, they don't. Is the Ascension still around, or did they already bury
I think
them?
they're still around in some form, and you got the Los Matadores.
Yeah.
And I think almost everybody else is hurt. So This is total, like, if I have to shit during this pay-per-view, this is the match that I'm going to fucking, go to the pot for, and it's Randy Orton versus Sheamus, man. I swear to God. Why do they do it?
That's just brutal. It really is.
Why? I swear, man. Oh, hell.
You talking about here's the thing. Two guys that have been in there forever now, especially Randy Orton,
right,
who have no real charisma, no direction, no idea what they're doing in terms of, like, with the characters and anything like that. Just a meaningless fucking match, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, if ever there was one.
It is, man. Like, the thing is about these guys, too, both these guys, at a certain point in time, were main event guys. But, especially Sheamus now, like, I don't see, or either one of those guys, really, but I don't see how you would ever put either of those guys back in that main event level now, because they have just lost so much steam over the years. And I was really shocked that Sheamus won that Money in the Bank, because can't think of any scenario, at least with him winning the title, that would make things interesting. And that's usually what Money in the Bank is for. It's to elevate somebody, to make things, change things up, make things fun. It did that with Seth Rollins. It brought him up to the main event level there. But
yeah, man, there's not any. I mean, there's not a way to make that character any more interesting, I don't think, at this point.
I don't see how you could.
They've killed that. They've killed any chance of that happening, I think.
Yeah.
They repackaged him, but unfortunately they didn't give him anything interesting or new to do.
No, I noticed
they just gave him a new look, and that was it.
Yeah, this last week they gave him like a nose ring. That's going to really go. That's really going to help him. And the thing that's weird is, for me, and I've talked about this on the WrestleManiac show quite a bit, Sheamus is a physically gifted wrestler. I mean, he is really talented. If you watch it, his matches, he's got some, that brogue kick is one of the coolest fucking moves. But they can't figure out, and he is intimidating looking, man. I mean, he's a fucking crazy looking dude, big, gassed up motherfucker. They don't have a clue. They have no clue what to do with this guy.
Have an idea.
Yeah, which is crazy for me. I mean, Orton, they've pushed the hell out of Orton for decades. Nothing left you can do with Orton. I don't think Sheamus has ever reached the potential that he once had, and he probably never will at this point. I don't see what you would do with him. I think he's got an amazing look. I think that he's good enough in the ring. He's got a great finisher. He's a big motherfucker, but they just don't have a clue what to do with him. I don't think they ever have.
No, and wasn't he, I mean, that was the thing for the longest time. He was Triple H's guy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's amazing that he hasn't been able to do anything with that kind of backing, too.
Yeah, so many times, like, they kind of miss the chance to pull the trigger on certain guys and go with them. And I think they did with him, that they could have, even though he was a champion at one time, but it really didn't work like it should have. So,
yeah, and at this point, any kind of explanation they have as to why they do that's kind of fucking stupid, because they've ruined the brand and so many opportunities that they've had to, like, make guys, and they just haven't.
Right.
But anyway, what's the next match?
Continuing
match.
on.
It's a horrible match.
Another one that I don't really expect a whole lot from, and another guy that, again, that they could have pulled the trigger on and fucked it up, I think, is Bray Wyatt. And we're talking about Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. So many programs they put Bray Wyatt in. They never let him finish the program and go over and become that, I mean, all the big, like he had the big Cena match, which that would have been perfect for him to go over in that match and move on, but he always loses all these matches. And
I've never understood that either, man. The Undertaker match and all that. Like, that match was essentially just some sort of revenge match for the Undertaker to kind of prove whatever. It did nothing at all for Bray Wyatt, and neither of any of those matches, come to think of it.
I'm not really looking forward to the Roman Reigns Bray Wyatt match either. Like, I don't see how. And the other one, like Roman Reigns, they've really cooled him off quite a bit too. I mean, they haven't really done hardly anything with him. And
they can't do anything with him. I mean,
that's kind of
what could they do, really?
Well, they haven't really even featured him that much on TV, which is crazy. Like, I think I went in there to piss on Monday and I totally missed the Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns thing. That was it for the rest of the show. I think the thing with WWE now is that's, I think part of the reason is it's 3 hours long. But back in the day, like, even though a lot of the shit in the Attitude Era sucked, like, and it really did, like, if you go back and watch some of the stuff on the network now, it's nowhere near as good as you remember it being. But the kicker was then, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and you're watching that show, it seemed like anything could happen at any moment, and you didn't want to really change the channel. Like, you don't know what's going to happen next. It had, like, unpredictability about it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's total predictability. Everything is.
That's exactly right. I mean, you could look at a lot of these matches, and we do a lot of times when we watch them, and you're just like, all right, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Because they don't ever do anything. Like, they never do anything new.
Yeah, it seems like, especially this time of year, too, they just coast until maybe, like, right at the end of the year, right, getting ready for Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania. And then it all starts all over again, you know? But a lot of the stuff on Monday Night Raw, it seems like it's the same stuff every week. Like, they might change up a couple of things in the opening segment or whatever, but they need to really, if they're going to hire some new writers, they need to hire fucking people that can tell a story over a long period of time, because that's what people watch for. I mean, that's why people enjoyed the Attitude Era, is because of all the stories that was told throughout the whole show. I mean, you had opening card, storyline, you had tag team storyline, you had a storyline with the women wrestlers, you had a storyline at the main event. You know, they even had Vince McMahon, you know, they had Patterson and Briscoe in storylines, his flunkies back then.
Yeah, you know? I mean, you're talking about an era where they had you caring about fucking Val Venus at one point.
Yeah, I mean, that's what is missing. I mean, I think you could do similar, you know, style from then without going, you know, totally X-rated like they were doing then. But anyway, continuing on with this show, Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt, I don't give a fuck what happens. I don't really care either way, you know. To me, the best thing that would happen is if the Wyatt family get back together. I would fucking love that.
Well, that would be a great idea, actually, at this point. But, yeah, the only people that give a fuck about Roman Reigns that I've known of are, like, 40-some-year-old women. I swear to God.
He's so pretty.
Look at him. He's a big old Samoan.
Let's see. Continuing on. One of the matches I'm definitely looking forward to. I know it'll be a great match because these guys have never had a bad match or even close to a bad match. It's John Cena and Kevin Owens for the U.S. Championship. I think Kevin Owens has to win this.
You think he will?
I think he'll win it.
You really think he will?
No, I think he'll win it.
God damn,
dude,
man.
For some reason, like, and I know why they're behind him because he's fucking awesome. They're pushing the shit out of Kevin Owens. I've never seen WWE push somebody like this probably since they first started pushing the hell out of Cena, and he was already in the company for like a year or two at that point.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm so leery of them at this point that I'd never bet against Cena. I really wouldn't.
You know, the thing is, though, is this is the best Cena has been in probably 10 years or longer, in my opinion. I mean, because to me, they've made the United States Championship more, or just about as prestigious as the World Championship over the span of, like, whatever it's been, 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I mean, here lately, if you watch, I have noticed, like, watching Cena, that it's as if he's actually trying to do something, like he's trying to do something different with some of the moves and stuff, and he's trying to mix things up, trying to actually put heart into matches. I don't think he was doing that for a long time. I don't know what the fucking difference is now.
No, I mean, he's definitely trying new moves. Some of them, you know, he does like a springboard stunner that he misses about every time. but he does like a version of the Canadian Destroyer, which is a really hard move to do, and like not too many people do it. I've seen him do that a couple of times, and it just seems like the storyline that they've got him in now with this U.S. challenge, and I just think it's made him way more interesting than he's been in fucking forever.
Which that's fucking sad too, if you think about it. Like that, he's one of the more interesting guys in the WWE right now. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, I just think it's a simple concept that you're like, well, who's going to wrestle him this week for the challenge? You know, and that's something that they did years ago. You just like, oh, who's up next? You know. And can bring somebody back from an injury that hadn't been out there in a while, or bring in somebody from NXT or whatever, and create just a moment, you know. And they did that, and the Kevin Owens Cena matches have been amazing, and I'm expecting this one to be amazing too. I don't know what the ending will be if Kevin Owens doesn't win. I'm sure it'll be some sort of. I mean, you could probably do something where Cesaro comes out there, or Rusev could come out there, or whatever, and do something that way. But I honestly think that Kevin Owens is winning this one.
I hope so, man. I mean, that would be something at least.
Yeah.
Something different.
Main event on the show, and they've done a really good job hyping this match, and I'm surprised that they did this match at, Battleground, simply because SummerSlam's next month, and you would think, they're going to bring Brock back for the big show, but maybe this will be a setup match for SummerSlam. I don't know. I have no clue what the finish will be for this match. I'm pretty sure that Seth Rollins is going to keep that belt, though. What do you think about this one?
Well, you've got to imagine that somebody's going to screw him over, right?
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell he wins that fair. I think we know that. So the question then is who's going to screw him over? And you were talking about this, so I mean, there's some speculation about who that person's going to be.
Yeah.
Now, what would be fucking awesome, in my opinion, it'll never happen, is if it was like Roman Reigns. They put the Shield back together, but they were like all heels.
Right.
That will never fucking happen.
Probably not. Just because of Roman Reigns, I think they would do it. Like, Dean Ambrose is not even on this show, which is sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yeah.
There's another guy they completely kind of...
Yeah, and he's still over, too. Like, there's guys they never push. For whatever reason, they're still over. Like, Ryback is another one.
Yeah, that's true. I don't get that.
Yeah. They don't do a damn thing with those guys, and they're still over. And they give, like... Oh, my God. Dean Ambrose probably has the worst merchandise in the whole company, too. Like, I don't know who the fuck they get to design that shit for him, but that's horrible.
Well, who do you think? Who's going to screw him over? What do you think's going to happen?
I think, like, if the Undertaker rumor is true, like, that would be something that'd be interesting, just because both of those guys are kind of baby faces, and it'd be the crowd reaction. I'd be interested in hearing what would happen, but I don't think you bring Undertaker back on this show, though. Like, I'd be surprised if he
Here's my problem with it, though, man. Like, the way they've been doing with Lesnar is, like, he is a realistic champion, meaning that he's just beating the fuck out of people. Like, legitimately beating the fuck out of them, right?
Yeah.
Throwing them into cars, like, breaking ribs, throwing them around, like, MMA kind of shit, right? Now, that Undertaker gimmick is just kind of inherently, like, gimmicky. It's not, I mean, he played the badass Taker thing for a while, but that gimmick is just like, it's a classic WWF gimmick.
Right.
Like, I just don't know if you can bring him back and make that realistic now with the way they've been pushing Lesnar as being like this invincible kind of MMA guy. I just don't know how that would play out like that.
Yeah, I definitely pick up what you're throwing down.
And I don't know what they could do really that would for anybody to challenge him.
I was listening to a podcast, I think it was yesterday. Kevin Owens would be a good one to bring out there, and just, I don't know. I don't know why you would do it, but I know that they eventually want to do that match.
Yeah.
So that'd be one to do. The rumor was, though, that Triple H and Brock Lesnar were wrestling at SummerSlam. That was just a rumor. So I don't know if it seems pretty quick.
It does.
Yeah. So
I mean, out of all those guys, I think probably Kevin Owens would be the best bet, just because I mean, they're kind of super pushing him right now, and he's got like that kind of, he's got a better style, I guess, to go up against Lesnar than any of those guys.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. That is really like, we were talking about unpredictability and how fun it is to watch around that time, you know, in the Attitude Era and stuff. I really am not sure what'll happen in that main event. So that'll be kind of fun to watch. Like just seeing how because like I was saying, I don't think Seth Rollins loses that belt. I think he keeps it until probably WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, I don't think he'll fucking lose it either. It's just a matter of like how they're going to get him out of that. Like, what will they do? You know?
Yeah, I think he's good in that chicken shit pussy heel role. Like he's just, you know, they stumbled across something pretty great with him that I think initially they weren't. They figured, well, Roman Reigns is the guy from that group, and you know that obviously wasn't the case.
Yeah, Seth Rollins makes a great heel in that way too. I think they definitely got to keep him like that. They got to do something with Dean Ambrose, oh man, that's fucking ridiculous.
You thought they were going to do something. I think it was last month they had him in the main event with Rollins, but you know, just didn't work out for him. So. Anyway, that is Battleground. That comes up this Sunday. I'm hoping that we'll do like a post show for it, but I am not for sure on that because I'm not sure exactly where in the hell I'll be. But yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm a busy man, Uncle Bill.
Look at you going on.
Yeah.